We're gonna be looking at Lucio. Kind of something we looked at before in a past video, but we'll go kind of just looking at it today. It's getting our own value on Lucio. Something I see a lot of Lucios is they just kind of sit with their team, heal, and sure you get that value to speed, whatever, but you don't really have any. You can't really dictate if you win or lose, really. So I've kind of broken it down to steps, make it easy to understand. Is every single team fight you're ever gonna play gonna go into these fights or into these steps? No, they're not, right? But most of them are, like a vast majority. Um, so we'll just start off with step one, right? It's probably the easiest one. Just your team is getting into the fight, amping speed, like I say. Maybe if they're coming to you, maybe you throw them an amp heal or whatever. And this is what most Lucios do, right? Like this is very easy, very simple, very important. Um, but yeah, and after step two, right? You got your Ryan into the other team, right? You sped him in, he's in there. Um, you don't really need to speed him more. You already amped healed, so you can't really. Yes, healing does help with team like a fight, but it's not really doing too much. This is when you have to deny the enemy ankles, right? Contesting Cassidy and Ash. In this FOD we look at Soldier too. This could maybe be a Sigma. This could be basically any character that does a lot of damage. And it's not really your job to kill them, to say. It's to annoy them, or even better than annoying them is maybe boot them off the high ground if they have one, making them run back to their team. And then this also maybe a time you don't really see it because if you're playing like a dive comp, maybe you peel the enemy ball, you boop away the Winston, you stuff like that. Also keep in mind that if you are playing against say a Doomfist or whatever, and you know where he's setting up to dive your backline, you can go uh, and contest him first. Like you can fight him. Get to step three in a fight. Most of the time you will, but this is when you've contested all the flanks. Like you've dealt with angles, and then you make your own play, right? In a brawl mirror, which is when we normally see Lucio. Maybe you boop the enemy Ryan into your team. Maybe you boop one of the tanks in the team, right? Um, or if you're playing dive Lucio, not really as common in team play, but in ranked, for example, your Winston's jumping the back Ana. Maybe go and try and kill the Ana with him. So I guess we'll start it out. So we see a brawl mirror, pretty standard. Ryan Zarya, and we can kind of look at like when we're loading up who we're gonna try and contest. We're probably gonna try and contest the enemy soldier, maybe the Hanzo. We can maybe potentially go and try and boop the Ryan into us. Maybe we go and try and maybe contest as Ana. She's like looking for a flanking nade like up here. Kind of know beforehand, and also something we can do is set up as much as we can before the fight happens. So in a perfect world, if this wall was like flat, we could play up here and be ready to maybe wall jump over here because we know there could be up here to boop. Um, but it is a pretty tough wall to climb, whatever. So it's fine starting on low ground. That's an option. It is risky, but I think it's pretty good. Obviously, we missed the boop. Normally, booping forward, we kind of boop to the side. But like right now, it is Lucio's job to deal with this flank because nobody on his team really can. Especially when they're dead now, and obviously, fight's already probably lost. But still, look up here, try and boop them off. Best case scenario. If not, you just kind of maybe force out a couple cooldowns and you can go back to your team. So, team kind of gets a pick, wins this stuff before we even get there. So I guess we can start doing something that's really important, is setting up for next fight. Now, we know we're going to fight probably around this choke, right? So any high grounds that they can use to flank, get value, right? Just a couple options. Maybe over here, maybe over here. Now, you generally want to start on high ground, because if they do flank low ground, you can get there pretty easily. But if you start on low ground and they go high ground, yes, Lucio can get up there, but it's going to take a while, like it's going to take a second or two. You might mess it up, because it's kind of tough to get up there. This one's after the fight. If we want to push it for staggers, it's not a big deal. And again, we see the fight coming down. We're not really set up for it. And even if, yes, if he's up here and they're all, if the three of them come up here, you're not going to win this like duel. You just you just run away. But at least you have the option to. Maybe you want to play around here. You go for a boop once they start peeking. We can also do from up here. Is play this choke and kind of wall ride like this, and potentially boop the Rhine in. It just gives yourself options. Or we do wall ride, which is nice. We then completely give up the position, and then we play over. And obviously it wouldn't really matter too much because they flank soldier. Maybe we scout him out if he's set up in a different position. And again, same idea, right? We set low ground, like I said before, it's high ground. Could be up here, look for a boop. But again, this ball's gonna come in for free because he doesn't have to fight anybody at an angle. The Ryan's just gonna walk in. You're not really adding anything to team fights. Again, we're in the fight. What should we do once we get the Rhine in here? So we speed in. Should we just kind of be sitting on cart, shooting the Rhine shield a bit? Maybe like trying to snipe the back line? Probably not, right? Should we be going deep in here trying to get the kill? We're probably going to die if we do that, right? So what can we do? We can maybe try and play the wall here and actually look to get value on the boop instead of just kind of booping the Rhine in his face. Actually booping into the team to then get like a kill. He could be up here just in case when they're like deepest want to flank and you can get there pretty easily. And again, the option's still there if you want to go in backline and get a kill if somebody split off.
Let them up.
I need healing.
Yeah, let's pick it up.
Come over here.
Let's get patched up. Hello.
Same idea on third. You want to start high ground, which you do, which is really good. And then maybe if you're playing against, say, a Diva or a... So we're playing against a Hanzo, but a Hanzo that wants to position like well, they would have to fight you to get up here, right? Or a ball if you want to stage up here. They have to fight you. Whether they win or lose, it makes it a lot tougher than to just give it to them free, which is nice. Now, obviously we then dropped right as the fight started and got a random log to the face. Kind of unlucky, but like, why even put ourselves in that risk of taking random damage? Like, play up here, we can still do just as much healing, just as much speed or whatever, than as we would on low ground. But again, we are just giving ourselves as many options as possible. Obviously not really much you can do here. And that's kind of just unlucky. So we saw like there were 4 or 5 fights where we didn't really like do much. Like yeah, we sped and we healed, so we got value as a character. But if you sub a bronze player in, is it outcome really gonna be too much different? Probably not.
I'm a soldier, Anna. Retirement doesn't suit me.
Again, this doesn't mean Reddit Lucio backline, feed your brains out. Like obviously we're still respecting step 1, which is enabling your team by getting them in there or whatever. But now attack it's a lot easier, or more simple I should say. So we go into this fight and we can already see off the bat what our job is, right? We speed the run in, step 1 complete, right? Once he's brawling, whatever. Step 2 is you go and fight the soldier, right? If we get him off, whatever. If we back him up, Then again, we have the option if we have the HP and resources, whatever, to maybe look for a boop in the Rhino boop in there, or maybe like shoot their Ana to get the Mercy to pocket her or whatever it may be. And we step 1 complete, and now our job should instantly change to going on that soldier or whoever it may be. But instead, we're kind of sitting here taking a bunch of damage ourselves. We're not really doing too much, right? Again, the soldier dropped off high ground because your Sombra, I think, had the right idea. But even then, he had the off angle. He just dished out so much damage.
Check this out. Raising the volume.
Kind of clean up. And they don't really have anybody on the flank, so if this would be a fine time to go aggressive or look for play. When their team's back, obviously.
Everyone heal up.
I get kind of unlucky if I maybe play the wall next time. Doesn't really change much, but
This is gonna make you feel better.
again, we see the exact same scenario almost, right? So now the soldiers on this side. What's their job? To get us fighting on point, get the brawl happening, and then go and contest him, right? Whether it be with our own Diva, with our own Sombra, like this scenario. Soldier feeds, drops high ground. Again, if you don't want to chase him, that's fine. I appreciate the thinking though. And again, like, go up to him. Don't sit here and try and cap point. You're not going to C9 it. And we do attempt to, right? Well, not the cleanest, but we get it done in the end. It does help if you're on full HP to go on speed. Let's make wall running a bit easier. Even then, I would have maybe just stayed on the wall, like outside of ZLS.
My ultimate is ready.
This payload's bumping. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Just pushing cart. Not really too much separates. Not much to do. Okay, here we go in a team fight. We get off cart, which is fine. To help. So we go and help out. Our team's full HP. We're almost in the fight. Okay, we're in the fight. What should we do now? Right? Let's maybe get on a wall. Have options, right? There's a Nano Ryan. Do you want to boop him into the team that bad? He has Shatter. Probably not. What can we do? He walks forward. We boop his team back, right? And maybe we don't, because we die for it. Maybe we don't, right? But we have the option too. And I'm not saying I have to impact every single fight and hard carry every single fight. That's the wrong mentality. But having the option to will then allow you to actually maybe 2 to 3 fights you win for your team. That's like winning games. And again, you appreciate the wall riding. This is good. You have the option to go. That'd be a great time to go for your own play, right? They have no off angles.
You're powered up. Get in there. I am unstoppable. I'm moving the payload.
Let's get you healed up.
And pushing cart.
Could use some help.
If you didn't have to push cart, say the Diva, we're already positioned. I would start positioning this high ground. We know where the fight's gonna happen. Right now, I'd go high ground if we know our team's pushing cart. Yeah, again, if we're in high ground here, similar to the third point when we had the Hanzo headshot by accident. If we're positioned away from our team, not on the flank, we're not positioning over here. But if we're positioning in a spot where we can help our team with heals, whatever, we're not going to catch grabs, shatters, anti-nades, like again, random headshots from people, random spam from people, whatever. If we're playing here, we get grabbed, we amp heal, we're out of LOS, they can't really kill us along with our team.
Make you feel better.
This is good. I like how you're starting on the wall.
EMP activated.
Yeah, obviously we dropped off. I think we missed a wall right, but only one way to practice, I guess. Map like this, again, we have high ground. Position up here to start, right? If their Pharah wants to fight you, you're not going to win that, then you drop off. No big deal, right? But give yourself options. That's the big thing, right? If we want to maybe their round pushes in, we look for a boop. We can. We have that. Again, we have that. We have that in our bag. Okay, that's like a good boop. Was it really clean? Did you kind of just walk behind him? Yeah, but you end up actually getting value from it.
Some help here.
And almost exact same like fight as his first one, right? Instead of soldier, we have an Ashe with a mercy pocket now. What's her job? We speed the Rhine in. Once he's in the fight ready, boom, we go and take out this. Again, we don't have to kill it. Go and deal with this Ashe. I guess better wording would say. Better word to use. It's good just starting up here. That way, if you want to go to her, you can easily. Get pressured out, which is fine. And again, we're looking to just get on this Ashe when we can. Off. Like right now, great time on this Ashe. She's just free firing the back of your team. Again, Ashe could have been up there. She dropped again for some reason, but she was still up there. Like she's now. She would just be hard to fight. Okay, we're gonna watch the POV of the Ashe this fight.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Point me in the right direction. Objective A. 60 seconds remaining.
Missing a lot of shots. Still just doing so much.
30 seconds remaining.
Pulls up by accident. Just completely untested. Somehow you guys win. Team 10, beautiful. You know the Ashe is there. You were going to go to her. I know you got. That's unfortunate, but I know you're going to go and deal with it. Big off 5. So that's a better idea.
Let's hustle. On my way.
The payload has reached the
Not really too many high grounds to play. Maybe you could have gone into Cubby up here to avoid that grab. Not to specifically avoid the grab, but again, playing different areas of our team.
round.
Can't really start too many high grounds because the Pharah can punish you. But we're still looking to go to them once the fight starts. I like this. Again, would have rather you play the wall so you take less damage, easier shots to hit.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Here's an example. You know your team's gonna play and fight around here. If you can quickly wall ride, get up here, play this wall. If they hard push, you just go in, maybe look for a boop on the Rhine, amp your team, and you're already back to where you were.
My tactical visor is charging.
Double time.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Yeah, let's move it, bitch.
Again, same idea as the second or last time. Get on the choke, play around that. If the fire wants to kill you, she has to run into your team.
Oh, this is my jam.
I think we've kind of went over it enough. So again, if it makes it easier for people, you can follow the steps, right? Again, it's not going to be end all be all, always follow this every single fight. But it makes it easier. Get your team into the fight. We saw them do a really good job of doing that. Step 2, denying the enemy angles. Ash on first point. Soldier on first point again. Sometimes on second point, even third. And then step 3, setting up maybe on second point the choke like we just looked at. Once we dealt with like an Ash or whatever, we can go and maybe look for boop on the Rhine. Just areas like that. Make sure we're doing that as much as possible. And I guess that'll be it for this Lucio bot.